Hello, everybody. Hope you're doing well. Today, we are talking about how crypto gaming will create billionaires, in my opinion. And we'll be talking about why this is so revolutionary and why I'm focusing about 80% of my attention on learning more about this, because the applications of this and what it means, in my opinion, is the birth of a brand new economy, the biggest thing since the internet. And I'm going to explain exactly why that is. So without further ado, let's get on with it. So I managed to pull this, and this is from 2016, so a good 6 years ago. But it's comparing the different subtopics of entertainment. So we've got music, a $16 billion industry, film, a $49 billion industry, and then over double film is games, video games, 101 billion US dollars. This is without crypto gaming or anything of the sort. Now, in 2020, that went up to 159 billion US dollars. Now, that is just under a 59% increase in 4 years, from 2016 to 2020. That's an incredible amount of growth. Okay, that's insane. Now, the reason I'm showing you this is to show you that without crypto, without the benefits that it brings you, which we're going to cover shortly, this industry is booming and it's growing so rapidly. And it's basically reaffirming what we've all known and been seeing for so long now. We are edging more and more and more to a digital economy, to digital, basically digitalization of everything that we do in real life. Okay. And this was also accelerated by the pandemic. Now, what you see here is probably one of the best diagrams you're ever going to see on the internet. Now, I don't need you guys in the comments telling me how good I am at art or anything like that. I get it. Okay. But this is essentially a complete circuit economy. So unlike video games in the past where, you've had in-game currencies and you've bought, a skin on Fortnite and it's just money that's left your wallet. You don't gain anything from it. There's no potential earning, or there's no way for you to verify that you are the only person that owns that, for example, a skin in Fortnite. There's no way for you to verify that you're the only person that has that. There are lots of people with the exact same skin who will pay money to the developer, and it's basically a win-lose relationship between developer and consumer. However, due to crypto and the technology that it provides, there will be a time when we can convert, in fact, we can already do this with some games, we can convert real life money, so your home currency, to crypto, from crypto to the in-game currency, where we can then purchase digital assets. So digital assets will be anything that you can buy in the real world: real estate, spending money on bets at a casino, betting on in-game events, betting on real life events. There are loads of different things that you can do. Buying skins, clothes, weapons, music, all of these sorts of things, all the things that people can normally spend their money on in real life, we can now do that in the digital economy, or we should, or will be able to. Now, the real beauty comes from the fact that due to the technology that crypto allows us that provides to us, we will be able to convert those digital assets at a time of our choosing back into crypto. Why is this important? Well, because now we have the option to, go and spend it, change that crypto into currency in another game, or we can convert it back to our home currency. And so with these digital assets, it's very likely, as with most video games, you'll have the choice whether to buy digital assets with real money, or you can earn them. And if you can earn them, then you can redeem them for real money. So you're basically creating money. In the same way that you have a job in real life, you are creating it through playing games. As well as, you can also buy stuff as well, like you can in real life. And so essentially what's happening here is we are bridging the gap between the digital economy and the real world economy. This is absolutely massive. So why is crypto and gaming so important? And what are the four main benefits? Well, there are lots of benefits beyond these four, but for me, these are the big ones. First one is verifiable ownership. If you buy a house, there is no other person that can own that same house with the same equity percentage that you could. And so that has never really been able to have been achieved in games before. If you buy, again, a skin from Fortnite or a weapon, there are loads of other people who have been able to buy that as well. And so you will just pay money to the developer, you will get that skin, job done. Whereas because of the technology that NFTs are going to be providing, there is verifiable ownership, meaning you are going to be able to look at something for some assets in game and be like, okay, this belongs to this person. This is huge because this is the exact same type of value that is placed on things like ticks, Instagram verification ticks, likes, vanity metrics. People care about this sort of stuff, and this is going to be the same thing that drives verifiable ownership. Okay, not to mention the fact that there are potential financial rewards, and there'll more than likely be appreciation and all the things we see in the standard economy, which brings me on to the second point, which I've already mentioned, bridging the game. I mean, I meant to put the gap between the real world economy and the virtual economy. So we've already kind of touched on that. Next thing is the developer can make more money. How? Well, because there are technologies out there now which allow for developers to make money on all of the in-game currency transactions, especially when you're transferring it to and from crypto to in-game currency. And in the exact same way that a payment processor like PayPal or Stripe makes their money, they charge you a very small percentage per transaction in most cases. That is a proven model, and developers can make a hell of a lot more money with that model than they can with their existing model of, buy an in-app purchase and then that's, run for the hills. Okay. So, and also not to mention, that's a win-win for the developer and the consumer instead of just for the developer. The fourth thing is enhanced security and safety. This is important, but it's the least exciting to me. It's kind of more of just a given, but I thought I'd put it in there anyway. So the next thing you'll understand is that demand creates supply. If there are people who need and really, really want something, there will be people who are willing to supply it for money because they want to make money from it, okay? And this is how our entire economy works. Now, 99% of crypto at the moment, if you've seen my previous video, is speculation, it's hype, it's fear, it's greed. Now, it's not to say that a lot of crypto doesn't have applications, a lot of it does, but a lot of it's not being used to the in proportion with the market cap and the price that it has. For example, if we look at Bitcoin is the most obvious one, that's not used anywhere near the same amount as the US dollar, for example. It doesn't have it's not being utilized, not to say it couldn't be, but it isn't being utilized to the exact same potential. Yet the market cap for it is insane. It's huge. In other words, the growth and the potential for the market is massive. And so it's very disproportionate. And it's very much driven by speculation, hype, fear, greed, news announcements, celebrities saying they're going to buy it, Elon Musk, all of this sort of stuff. These things all influence it a lot more than if there was real world application. And if you want more insight into that, check out the first video that I posted on this channel. And I'm sure by the time you're watching this, there will be other videos out on the channel. Okay. So crypto gaming, there's a real world need for it. And imagine a future where you can interchange currencies between games and real life, create income from time spent in game instead of feeling like money is getting sucked from your wallet, uniquely owned digital assets instead of everyone being able to do the same thing, essentially like the real world. And so this is going to basically take away the disadvantages of video games whilst giving it all of the advantages of real life and taking away the disadvantages of real life. In other words, let me just say that, the risk of you dying in a video game in real life is going to be nothing. And so that's a huge risk removed. Yet you're going to have the advantages of a real world economy in video game that you don't get in real life. And that is a massive, massive thing. And so the next thing I want to quickly touch on is the pre-infancy stage we're in. Most people do not even know what crypto gaming is at this point. And companies have only really just started developing games that offer this play to earn feature in a crypto format. This is so massive. And so I first want to draw your attention to the fact that the gaming market alone without crypto gaming at all is predicted to grow to 314 billion US dollars by 2026. Now, how many more people do you think would play games if there was a potential to earn money in game? Now, I would guess a hell of a lot more people, because it would add some utility to it. It would add a whole new element, a whole new dynamic to playing games. And people love playing games, as we can tell just from the size of the industry alone. And so you've got to also remember, this is probably one of the key points here, is this is not just a new feature in a video game. It's not them adding a new update or, adding another thing that, barely changes the game. This is the birth of another economy. For the first time since the dawn of the original economy. I mean, you could argue since the internet was released, which did create its own kind of digital economy. This is the next big thing, in my opinion. Just imagine that, okay? The economy that we have right now, the internet changed the game. Now games are going to create their own interactive economy. So the internet was an interactive virtual space for people to, conduct commerce and conversations and all these things. The evolution of that is going to be an interactive, real world experience of an economy without the risks of the real world and with all the benefits of the real world and more. That's going to be an incredible opportunity. And even if this new economy was 1% of the global economy size, that's 845 billion US dollars, excluding the size of this, just the gaming industry as a whole. This is going to create an unbelievable amount of wealth, a shift in wealth, and a shift in how we operate as a society. Okay. And so the potential here, what I'm trying to say, is just absolutely huge. Okay. And so crypto itself has only really been a mainstream talking point in the last 3 to 4 years. Crypto gaming, in my opinion, is just going to be a huge thing following through to the next, 60 years plus, our lifetimes essentially. So how do we capitalize on this industry? Why and how to be a focused investor is the first thing, because if you are an investor trying to focus on 100 different industries, 100 different coins, 100 different things, you're not going to stay on top of anything. You're going to be kind of very much on the surface, not knowing that much about anything, just knowing a little bit about everything. And so it's very important to understand that. So these are the videos that I'm going to cover in this series and beyond on this channel, amongst obviously a lot more as they come up. Next thing is understanding what makes a good game. If you can't spot what are the elements of a good game, an addictive game, then it doesn't matter how good the game marketing is, the game's going to suck and people aren't going to play it, and it's going to go against what basically the entire basis of our decision to invest in crypto gaming, because there will be no utility. People just won't care about it. So it doesn't matter how good your marketing is. Now, let's say we've got a good game. Now we need to understand and be able to identify good game marketing. That is the next big thing. Next thing is understanding what crypto technology works best to add functionality. Okay. If we understand what makes a good game and we understand the technology that needs to be there in order to create that good game and allow the crypto aspects to work with it, then that is going to be crucially important that you stay on top of which technologies are providing that solution. And if you're trying to sort out the crypto technologies for 100 different industries, then staying on top of what the best crypto technologies are for each of those industries is going to be borderline impossible. Okay. Number 5, understanding what companies benefit or are linked to these developments. That's going to be another big one, because the companies that are going to be associated with these things in the long term are going to absolutely explode. Number 6 is understanding investing, how to value companies and coins, and the type of investor / trader that you are. So for example, if you're a trader, you're more short term, you're looking to flip things, you'd be much more interested in the valuations and kind of quick gains. Whereas if you're a long-term investor, you're looking at the overall scope of things, as we've done in this presentation right here. And we're looking to make decisions based on the long run. We're not going to be as swayed by big dips in price, because things tend to fluctuate quite a lot when they are first brought to market. And number 7 is staying up to date on developments. These are news announcements, all of these sorts of things. And so this channel and this series are going to be sharing my process of learning this myself. I'm not an expert on this at this point, but I will be. I will get very, very clear on what I'm looking for in this industry. I'm going to share everything that I learned with you guys, and I'm going to take you on this journey with me. And so I really, really hope that you have enjoyed this presentation. If you have, I'd appreciate it if you could leave a like on this video. And if you've got any questions, content ideas, anything like that you'd like to see or me make a video on, then let me know in the comments section below. But yeah, thank you so much, guys. Take it easy, and I will see you very, very soon.